The dream is real.
Yeah. Can I get a standing ovation for the authentic voice of culture? I am your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Burns, and we are TKBS. Hi, beautifuls. How y'all doing?
And I am Kendra Taylor. I'm doing well. I'm all right.
I'm Dr. Sugar, and I'm in mourning. You see my black?
Child Sugar, I just want to give you a round of applause because you did a whole makeup tutorial before we just push send. And I just want to give you your props because your face it had different things. Like some tribal warrior shit going on. You know what I'm talking about? So I love you.
Hello, Kenny Burns. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. How was your weekend, Sugar? Can we start the show off with some pleasantries?
You know, I don't even remember what happened yesterday. So I don't remember what happened over the weekend. I think I chilled. I can't really remember. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
It must have been okay. I'm still alive. Yeah. Cheers.
All right. Well, I just want to try to go somewhere that's a little more pleasant, but fine. We're going to get heavy. Kendra, how was your weekend?
My weekend was nice. I did a little shopping. I went and got some stuff for my Christmas tree because last year I didn't decorate it. So I got out the house this weekend and I did some shopping, came back home, and you know, that's about it.
Yeah, you know when Kendra's outside, y'all, because she does a lot of selfies.
Whoa.
And she does a lot of selfies. No, I'm giving you props. I see this is the world that I live in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it. But it's been a heavy weekend. Would you like to know about my weekend?
How was your weekend, Kenny Burns?
No, it was. Thank you, Sugar. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
I went on vacation. I got fucked up when I got home, and that's the reason I'm calling episode 108 A New Nation. I'm in a state of delirium, and I want to just start off episode 108, A New Nation, by saying to all the black women out there, all women except the women that voted for Trump, I see you. I love you. I support you. I honor you. I will continue to show up and fight for you. And my 75-year-old Aunt Lena, who was fresh out of Jim Crow, all the things, said this is the worst feeling she's ever had as it adheres to politics. Now, that's a hell of a statement because in her conversation with me this morning, she literally, you could feel the energy that she thought she had got through all the bullshit. We all know this was the most qualified contestant in this race, Kamala Harris. This was the most, ready for the job day one candidate in the race. And I just want to say this, the early exit polls show Trump's three strongest groups were white men, Hispanic men, and white women. Georgia, which I am disgusted, Georgia, and all of you who run into me from now on are going to feel this energy. But in Georgia, one exit poll said that 69% of white women showed up for Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, this is utterly unbelievable. And in Kamala Harris, the three strongest groups were black men, which I want to give a round of applause to black men. You were 80-something% of the vote. So all of the disinformation that we now know is disinformation was totally untrue. You showed right under black women, so I salute you. And the other group was Latino women. But where are we, y'all? Because I'm looking at an election, Kendra, and I'm going to start with you. I'm looking at an election and I am baffled. I am upset. I am hurt by white women.
I am hurt, period. I'm hurt by everyone, especially women. Any woman that went out and voted for someone that's taken away your right to your own body. I've been in loss of words since this morning, just in disgust. I couldn't sleep well last night. I would wake up and look and go back to sleep. But I'm disgusted at anyone who voted for him because it's affecting a lot of us. It's affecting people are minorities, people of color, women. And if they do half of that shit that they put in that plan, we are in trouble.
It's up. It's stuck. He said it. He double, triple, quadrupled down on it. And Sugar, we're going to have to see it unfold because the first thing that's going to be affected is these migrants. It's up.
I try really hard to protect my energy in in the space of this climate, right? And so last night I was just like, I cannot watch another news tick. I cannot do it. I had to allow myself to go to sleep. And then when I woke up this morning, I still had the same feeling like, I don't want to look at nothing. I felt this way in 2016. And I was like, you know what, let me just go to sleep because it don't look good. I was hopeful, but I also know that we can't trust people. And I just know that people say a whole lot of stuff and sometimes they back it up and sometimes they don't. And like Ken said, I'm hurt generally because I just was hoping that our world was going to be better. And right now I feel sorry for the people who are raising children. And it makes me second guess whether I want to bring a child into this world for sure.
Ooh, child, listen, and I trust you when you say that because I feel that these decisions that will be made with the Supreme Court, if there are any other, appointees under his administration, we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff. And I'm going to bring in some more TKBS Nation members. Monica, how do you feel? I mean, reproductive rights were on the table. All these things were on the table. And for 69% of the white women here in Georgia to vote for Donald Trump, for over 50% across the board voting for this man, he's been unbelievably disrespectful in telling you how he's not going to support you going forward. How did this happen?
It's a situation, I think, of a couple of things. He thrives off of people's misinformation and their lack of knowledge on how things actually work. He lit the fire of the white man's feeling of being insubordinate and knowing that that man was eventually going to inflict that same feeling onto his wife and that she was going to, vote lockstep with him. And I think it's also just people being so single-minded in the way that they decided to vote that they didn't realize all of the other ramifications that come with that. The Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas and that other guy, they're going to retire. We're going to have a Supreme Court that is completely conservative. That is a result of this. It is going to be the loss of a lot of rights. It's going to be the loss of a lot of immigrants. It's going to be the loss of potentially, if they decide to really go through with a lot of the 2025 project, it's going to be people's marriages being broke up because they don't want people marrying interracially. They don't want, gay marriage. There's so much other stuff that has happened. And as a woman who was looking forward to having children, I'm feeling very much so with Dr. Reid right now because it just doesn't seem like a safe place. It doesn't seem like a safe place. And to knowingly bring somebody in where, I might have wanted to have children next year. Well, he's going to be the first year of his presidency. That would be ludicrous of me to do so. So I don't know. It's a tough day.
No, I feel you. And to that point, Trump doesn't represent policy.
At all. He has no policy.
He has resentment against the world. He is almost 80 years old. His ideology sits in the Stone Ages, as far as I'm concerned, on what he represents or who he represents. I do want to say this, though. In the, last 100 and something days, Kamala Harris had to introduce herself to the world. And she was going against, arguably, clearly a former president, but arguably one of the most powerful people in the world. To be able to say the things he said, to be a convicted felon, to have charges that's due this month to be sentenced to, he is clearly protected in a way that is unreal. And it's all being bankrolled by Elon Musk, the man that owns SpaceX. They're working on chips to put in your brain. Brian, I gotta know what you think, man, because for me, it's like I get us being brainwashed. I get why people can say economy, which I really don't, because you poor motherfuckers is really about to see how he feel about you. And all this rallying and whooping and all this magging and you've been doing, you fucking maggots, it's up. But Brian, talk to me, because I'm about to go off the edge.
Well, like you, I didn't talk to an aunt this morning. I talked to my mom, and I'm about to get choked up again. America has shown us who it is again. I've been out here in these streets in Detroit. I've been campaigning. I've been knocking on doors. According to the local office here, I've knocked on over 600 doors since she was at the top of the ticket. That's in my free time. Nobody's paying me to do that. I worked the polls yesterday. Well, that sounds horrible, but y'all get what I mean. I was a poll worker yesterday, and in the precinct that they had me stay.
I like how you threw some spice in there, even though you're upset. Give me a hug, brother.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I'll just say, I don't even know if I'm mad. I'm just numb.
Right. Yeah.
And here's my apology to all the Black women. I'm sorry, because hearing my mom break down like she did. My sister my sister says she can't talk to me right now. I feel like I failed. And I'm not afraid of a strong Black woman. I was raised by a strong Black woman. This country is, in my opinion, I said this when I ran into a protester when President Biden was here before he dropped down, and I was at that rally. Protester came to me and I said, I hope I'm wrong on this, but if she steps to the top of the ticket, I was like, this country had a more than overly qualified white woman in Hillary Clinton, who I campaigned for, did the same thing, and we did not elect her. And I said, I hope I'm wrong. You mean to tell me that this country is going to elect a triply qualified Black South Asian woman? And I was praying I was going to be wrong. And I'll park with this couple of points. In my spare time from car design, I'm a teacher. And what grates me is everyone voting against their interests. Everyone who is looking square face right now, and you are okay with fascism. Look up the definition. You are okay with sliding into a dictatorship. This is how Germany fell. In a short amount of time, Hitler went from the Reichstag fires to the Enabling Act of 1933. If you don't know what that is, look it up. The Enabling Act of 1933. And in a short amount of time, from 1933, in a year's time, Germany went from a democracy into a dictatorship, and these mofos voted for it. And that's what scares me, along with the Supreme Court. And if people think, well, I'm in an interracial relationship, Clarence Uncle Tom, that's what I call it. Clarence Uncle Tom Thomas, he's in one. He won't overturn Loving v. Virginia. This Supreme Court made a carve out for this orange mofo. What makes you think that they won't do the same for interracial relationships, the ones that they like? There's Oberfeld versus Hodges. That I could go on and on about several Supreme Court precedents that are in serious jeopardy, not to mention our daughters. I don't want to say our women like this mofo, but our sisters out there. And it just pains me. I'm just numb. I'm numb, bro.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And thank you for participating, Brian. I know it's heavy, especially when your mama and them involved. When your mama and them who've been through the worst of America can sit up here and tell you that it's bad. Oh, it's bad. And guess what? We talked about this so many times, over and over again, how if this man gets in office, he not leaving. And what's for sure is that although he might die, right? His clock is ticking. But ladies and gentlemen, his ideals will remain for generations. J.D. Vance is the spawn in the new and improved version of him. Peter Thiel, a gay man, one of the biggest contributors to this campaign, pushed JD to this point. So it is not a gay thing. It is not a black, white, Latino, Asian. It is a white supremacy thing. So I just want to say thank you to Monica. I want to say thank you to Brian. Everybody else stay on. We're going to continue this conversation. We got to go to the next thing. And Sugar, when we come out of this, I'm going to start with you. Trump did everything wrong in this campaign. Got convicted on 34 felonies, lost the debate to Kamala Harris decisively according to all polls, couldn't articulate any more than concepts of a plan for healthcare after 10 years of running for president, flip-flopped repeatedly on abortion, refused to answer basic questions about minimum wage, simulated a sex act on live television, refused to apologize for a speaker at his rally that disrespected Puerto Ricans and Latinos, joked about shooting the press, picked a running mate who called him Americans Hitler. And this is how fickle they are. They will talk about each other like a dog. They will go back and forth, back and forth. When it's time to side, they will side. But what do we do, black folk? Hold that for 2 seconds. And was outed by his own former chief of staff for saying Hitler did some good things. Nothing mattered because it was never about issues. White America has been lecturing black people about crime, morality, patriotism, and they voted for this convicted felon, this sex offender. And he caused insurrection. I mean, to multiple people's points a minute ago, they are not voting for policy, y'all. They are voting for white supremacy. Sugar, come on, talk to me.
It's just, I don't even know. I don't even know, because I just don't understand how we are still this far behind on the way we are loving and accepting and treating each other. I just don't understand, because you can say all you want about the economy. You can say all you want about his quote unquote policy that I'm still looking for, but really you're voting for hate. I was in a store last night, literally split second, in and out, self-checkout. This man looked at me and was like, no, he was talking to another man, excuse me. He said,
have you been watching the election information, all the coverage?
And he was like,
yeah, I just want it to be a fair election. I'm a Trump supporter, but I want it to be fair. And if he loses, I want it to be fair. And I don't really know much about Kamala.
I looked at him, I said, her name is Kamala. The least you can do is say her name correctly. And if you look anything up, you can see the policies that are on the table. But I digress. Have a good night. So it was just like, what in the world? How in the world are you literally standing in a store saying that you are a Trump supporter in 2024?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Kendra, how you feel about it, baby?
Because you guys are right. They're Trump supporters because it's white supremacists. That's what it's all about. Part of it is about her being a woman and about her being a Black woman. They didn't want that in office, even though it was a lot of us that wanted that, not because of what she was, but she was qualified. And it spoke to freedom to continue our democracy. Now, all of those things are at stake. Whatever you voted on, the little bit of policy or economic or this and that, if your freedoms and your rights are gone, none of that matters. It don't matter. And so for people that were talking about tax breaks and this and that, nigga, you ain't even making enough money for them breaks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just disappointed. I'm so disappointed as a whole. I was looking up dual citizenships this morning. Hey, this is crazy.
Facts. I don't think people grasp, you just said it, Ken, and multiple of you have said it during this conversation. I don't think most people that are talking about economy's the reason that I'm voting, I don't think they really realize nothing he says or is going to do applies to you. Nothing. Policy or anything has nothing to do with you. But I'm going to go to Betty real quick so we can get through this portion of the show. But Betty, you're a Cuban American. I don't understand how Latino men stood up for this man. In my mind, and I get it, Latinos are different from Cubans on some level outside of being human, of course. But what is it? I know a lot of Black men want to be white, but it seems like these Latinos really think they white. Hello, am I tripping?
You are not tripping, KB. I mentioned this in the recap, and with Latino men, what I have grown to realize in my 50 years of life is there's a lot of machismo. And what y'all aren't realizing is that they cannot have a woman over them. That is really what I saw. And I'm going to be honest, I am at a loss for words too. I also lost sleep. I am so disappointed because I really thought towards the end, and I'm getting emotional because y'all know how I feel about this. I really thought towards the end when I saw everyone seem like they were unifying, I was like, yes, this is the America I came to live in, where I would see unity and people holding bad hombres, as he calls them, accountable. But yet here's the lead bad hombre and nobody is holding him accountable for nothing he does or says. So I don't feel it had to do, from what I've been witnessing, I don't think it has to do because she was a minority. I don't think it has to do because she was underqualified. It has to do because for whatever reason, and I'm speaking to all men, most men, not UKB and Mike and the guys that I know from the nation, but most men, I'm realizing they really, like someone else said, I feel they hate women. I really, really feel that way. And I really feel like the entire point was we cannot have a woman in power for whatever their reasoning is. And I feel men need to, the same way you stand by that celebrity, that athlete that you look up to, you need to do the same for women, the women that bore you, the women that raised you, the women that are there by your side when things go left. And I feel like they have let us down so much right now. I feel like I don't know what's going to happen in these 4 years and longer, because I strongly, coming from Cuba, like you mentioned, I strongly believe he is not going to relinquish his power at all. He is going to be a straight dictator. He's told us that to our face. I don't think he's going to veer from that path. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go for guidance to people I know, because I don't even know what to think, how to react. I'm trying to keep my responses at a minimum, even on social media, when I'm somebody that's very vocal, but because I feel like I can't trust anyone either, because I feel like you're all part of the problem.
And the more you see these celebrities come out, right? Like 50 Cent. 50, really? You have been quiet, right? Kind of abnormally quiet, right? You come out today talking about you rolling with the winner and you post a picture with this guy? Like, bruh, like, that's the stuff. And Kim, I'm coming to you. That's the stuff that we just can't let bang no more. We can't let, because it's clear what America thinks about us. It is clear. But we can't let our own continue this bullshit and make them feel welcome or supported. Talk to me, Kim.
You know what? I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised, honestly. Can I say that for real?
Yeah.
I don't believe that America, honestly, is ready for a woman president because of how America is ran, because of when Trump was in office before, how so many people supported.
I like Trump.
So many people supported him, right? And it was some of the Black people. I'm very surprised. It's some people that I grew up with that are business owners and stuff. I had to unfollow, I had to unfriend, and I know that everybody have their own beliefs, and I respect that. But at the same time, the disrespect, and you, like everybody has said, you see it. He is telling you to your face as a Black person what he's gonna do. I'm concerned though about, I'm a grandmother of 2 grandsons.
Oh, you look good, Grandma. GG.
Thank you. And I have a son, right? So I am really a boy mom. And the one thing that scares me a lot is about these police officers.
Yeah.
Right? These police officers. And if nothing else, I think that's going to go into play. I mean, we see the minimum right now sentencing, if not being sentenced and always getting off, with him changing things.
Yes.
The bottom line for me is I feel like the KKK has gone into the police department.
No question.
That's exactly what it is. So it's a sad day, but at the end of the day, I'm a strong believer in Christ. God don't make no mistakes. This is for a reason and a lesson. For us to just pay attention,
And at the end of the day gonna end. And it's almost Kim's birthday, and we send you special love and shouts out. Reach out to all my Scorpios. And Phil, I'm coming to you next, man. To Kim's point, it's like you have these celebrities, right? Thug just got out of jail. I've never seen anyone beat a RICO with 5 years with time served for 2.5, then get 15 years probation and a lopsided 20 if he gets in trouble. Then the other things, you can't come to your hometown, all the things, right? But to Kim's point, these youngins is seeing this happen multiple times. But they're forgetting that this man just said he's giving police immunity. So all the things you got off on a technicality, all the things that have benefited people with money and resources to hire these lawyers to get off on it, You're not gonna have that luxury. Matter of fact, they can kill you. This new law gives them immunity for aggressive force. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the ratio of black men versus white men on a police force? What is the ratio between black men who are Oreos or dancing in the Hakuna Matata or white men disguised as Latinos? What's the difference? I don't know the difference no more. To Betty's point, I don't trust nobody. Talk to me, Phil, because we know now. You can't act like you don't know no more.
That's it. We give too much credence to these so-called celebrities and figureheads, and we don't pay attention to the smoke that we see coming from down through the bushes and the fire that's coming with it. If and when that man is able to pass that law to give police executive immunity or whatever, we are in trouble. Not just we as black people, but everybody on this soil, because what's going to end up happening is we're going to get tired of it at a certain point. And what other recourse will we have? Because we have no courts to turn to. We have no policymakers or no lawmakers to turn to. What happens then? I'm not advocating, but what I'm saying is it's going to be a powder keg that's going to blow the hell up and blow the United States up. And then that's going to turn to something else, because then you're going to have these militia people, and it's set up for us to fail as black people. It's set up for us to fail as United States citizens. And at the end of the day, we kind of getting what we asked for. Those of us that asked for that nugget to be in office.
Listen,
I hate to say it that way.
Listen, no, you're absolutely right, Phil. The problem is that we knew the world was like this, but we wanted to believe in the ideology in which we were sold. We wanted to believe in the American dream. We wanted to believe in, the fact that we could have opportunity and progress and break generational curses and all the things. But that's not where we are. It is not where we're going back. Now what? Now what? We're going to get into this next thing, and thank you, Phil, for joining the rest of the nation. But Ken and Sugar, my thing is, when you say now what, right? We don't have an answer, but we do, because we've been doing it. We've been living, we've been thriving, we've been pursuing our dreams, we've been trying all the things. Does that stop? I don't think it stops. Talk to me, Sugar, because what is life? You gonna move butt naked to the woods? You gonna subscribe to a cult? What are we doing? Like we gotta believe in the best of humanity still, right?
Right. But here's the thing, KB. When you just said that, it made me think about loving someone's potential versus what the reality of who they are. So if you do all your work, you're gonna be a great partner for somebody.
Right.
Yada yada
right.
yada. But you keep showing me that you ain't shit.
Dang.
You just keep showing it to me. And that's what happened in this election. The people feel like they're going to get some kind of economic boost, or they feel like they're going to reign supreme. They feel like they're going to do all these things, but he keeps showing you that if you are not for him and his things, then you could go
to hell.
You can be down there with the rest of us, because he doesn't care about anybody but himself. But back to what you were saying, it's just like, at what point are we going to live in the reality versus the dream?
Come on, Sugar.
Because at this point, we are living in a nightmare. And unfortunately, it's like a live nightmare. Like we live right now. We ain't no edits.
Sugar, but listen, and it ain't been no edits either. Y'all been doing a great job. But I'm going to tell you, that's what they wanted. They got tired of saying the shit behind our back. Think about what I'm saying. He got more unhinged as it got to the finish line. Normally that implodes to Phil's point. It blows up in your face. But he got more turnt and more lit and clearly won the election. Come on, kid.
He did. But listen, we're going to have to put our boots to walking more than to the ground, more than we ever have. We need to rebuild our community. We need to go back to the Black Wall Streets. We need to start supporting our Black farmers, growing our food, and doing the things we need to do as a community and support one another, because our lives are in the hands of, in Sugar's word, a menace. We don't know what the hell he gonna do. He could do this for us and a whole lot of that for them, but he's so reckless, they probably scared too, because they're like, well, what is he gonna do? Because he was reckless the first time. We have no idea where we're heading, but we need to work together as a community and start building the way that we've never built before. And that's what we need to do.
Yeah, it's ironic you say that, because I was talking to my Aunt Lena this morning, and I was, showing love to the Black Israelites and to Farrakhan and to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad before him, because listen, big shout out to 19 Keys. They all say the same. I mean, it's the same thing you just said. We have to have our own, and we do. It is time. It has been time, and I'm not subscribing to any religion outside of God Almighty, and I think he covers multiple religions and is the leader and forecaster for all of us. But I am saying not that I didn't believe in that, because I remember a time when I was a teenager where knowledge of self was a thing, and you were trying to figure out who you were, and you wanted to go learn about Africa, and you wanted to learn about where you really came from, who your people were. So I've always been, attached to my lineage. But I think more than ever now I feel it. And, I talk to so many different types of people. And I think the disappointment for me in this whole thing was that this happened to a Black woman. I wasn't even mad that it happened to Hillary like I'm mad that it happened to Kamala, because you're overqualified. You can more than do the job. You are a better leader than the one that got chose. But that's been your history, Black women. That has been your history. And I feel horrible for Kamala Harris. Because Hillary, all right. They got their money. They got their praise. They got the book sales. They got all the things. But they treated this woman who in 100 days raised over $1 billion, who in over 100 days galvanized a community that was fucked up. We was tripping that Uncle Joe was fucked up. He was losing his rabbit mind in front of us. And she came out of nowhere to hold down the fort like all Black women have always done. Did amazing job in making us feel seen, heard, secure. Black men had an issue, she didn't take it personal. She fucking created a plan for you niggas. And I'm talking to you niggas that voted for Trump. Fuck you. And you Latinos, you will never be white. You Latin men. The same people they about to go after for coming through that border are your fucking people. Those same people who contributed $92 billion to our bottom line. You motherfuckers are ignorant. And you are willfully ignorant and don't want to change. That is the problem. And that is why, to Ken's point, we have to really protect our own. We got to do the things that are best for us, whatever that is. But I want to go through these facts, and I want to bring it into the comment section. Trump will be able to appoint a new attorney general who will fire the special counsel, Jack Smith, and dismiss the criminal charges against him. These are the things that are going on that y'all need to know that's about to be unraveled. Second, with a new Republican Senate, because the Senate has been taken back by the Republicans. We don't know about the House yet. But the Republican Senate will be able to appoint several new Supreme Court justices, because to Monica's point, I think, they're going to be repealing things. People are going to be quitting, retiring. Clarence, or Thomas, Uncle Tom, all them motherfuckers is tired. They tired, and that's why the abortion ban got repealed. But I'm just saying, these are the things that happen. In the next 20 to 25 years, that Supreme Court decision will affect those generations. That's 3 different generations almost. 25 years, if you're going 10 years a clip for generational new whatever's coming to the forefront, you won't be, I pray to God I'm here. But the problem is that a lot of people won't be able to come back from that. Also, if you want reparations, reproductive rights, LGBTQ rights, DEI, environmental protections, or any progressive policy, that won't happen in your lifetime. Oh no, no matter who succeeds Trump in office, his legacy will be in these policies and in these decisions. Oh yeah. Y'all think I made the right decision now? Okay, check this one out. Trump will also be able to appoint vaccine denier, RFK Jr., to head up women's health and vaccines. I don't know if you listen to RFK Jr. He is a conspiracy theorist multiplied. I don't think y'all, and he will also, ladies and gentlemen, cut taxes for billionaires, which is why rich people like Elon Musk only support him. So, he also promised to abolish the Department of Education. Okay, Black history? Black history is gone. I hope you understand the value of that. And if Black history is gone, Latino history is gone, anybody who gave anything productive to this world that they don't want to put in that new book they making, that's what it is. But I want to know how y'all feel about it, because those are tangible things he ran on and told you he was finna do.
I'm disgusted by it. As we've been saying this whole time, like everything that he said he was gonna do, these people went out and voted for him. And it's unbelievable, to the point where I was like, did they rig it? Like, who the hell voted for this dude?
I'm waiting for that to come out too.
Yeah,
I know, Ken, I'm waiting.
We start yelling it because he would have yelled it. Y'all cheated. That's what, because is it that many ignorant people in the United States? I'm just gonna shut up because I can't make sense of it, and I ain't gonna make sense of it. It's wild to me.
Yeah, it's super wild. Well, Sugar, talk to us, please. Help us off the cliff.
You know, I am much like my friend Kendra, because of what?
Right.
That's all I keep thinking, because of what? Wait, what? Yeah. Like, what is happening? How did this happen again? How is it that people call themselves Christians and talk about being conservative and support someone who is the most lewd person that is in public eye? The most lewd. His wife doesn't even respect him. She's just there.
Right.
It's almost like she has to be drugged or something in order to appear on these stages. Because, sis, why are you there? Blink once if you need help. Because we got people. We can come get you.
Yeah, we can save you.
I mean, I got a little hatchback. I could just let my little truck open up and come get you, sis. You ain't got to stay over there. A lot of people have said they're not shocked, but they are disappointed. I share the same sentiment. But what I do think is, as much as we are disappointed, this is an opportunity for growth.
Amen. Come on.
This is an opportunity for those of us who have the means to start investing. It is an opportunity to talk to our younger generations about what they need to do with their money, because the economy is about to go in the favor of the people with means.
That's right.
And those of us who are middle class or middle upper class, whatever you consider yourself or fall under, it's going to be harder for you. So we're going to have to stop spending so much and start investing so that we can have an ROI and so that we can have some other streams of income. And we have always, as a culture, Black people, people of color, people of Latino descent or origin, thank you. We have always just made it work.
Yeah.
So please understand that as upset as we are and as heartbroken and disappointed as we are, we're going to make it work.
Yes.
But we can't keep living like we've been living. So quit spending your money at these big corporations and
Kendra.
Just whoa. At these
Take that Tesla back.
At these, are you gonna buy her a car? Okay,
I'm gonna help. I'm going. My Christmas bonus is coming, so you get.
You know what I'm saying?
Take that.
That's the only way I'm gonna get rid of my Tesla. Now I had it way before this bullshit started kicking off. Now,
but yeah, we gotta make sure that we are taking care of each other, taking care of ourselves, and we gotta get some financial literacy beyond the people that's on Instagram selling master classes. Not them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got.
Nigga, round of applause.
Thank you.
And yes, I'm gonna donate towards the Tesla get rid of funds.
It better be a good donation.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You live in a mansion. All right, now it's time for Live from the Comments section.
Okay, so my comment is from Monica, who was here earlier. Hey, girl. Okay, so this was regarding the clip that we had in regards to spending time with your family and trying to find those time. Her comment was, I agree with this clip quite a bit. I love my friends, but I don't communicate as much as I should. My family communication is not great right now, which makes me sad, but I need to feel safe and loved when I'm with you. And unfortunately, there are close family members that I no longer feel safe. As a result, when I'm around them, I tend to shut down. I can, agree with that. It doesn't matter if they're family, coworkers, whoever it is. If someone's in your space and you're not comfortable, your energy is shooken, no one wants to go through that anxiety or submit themselves to environments that are not safe and are not happy, because our internal happiness is more than anything. We're not our parents who, the family will fall out at Thanksgiving dinner. no one wants to be in, I don't want to be in those spaces. So, like I said the other week, be intentional about our time and be intentional about our love, creating safe spaces so we can be together as a family. That's important.
Amen. Amen. Good job, Kendra. You're getting good, girl. You're getting good. Sugar, come on, baby. What you got from the comments section?
First of all, get off my friend, okay?
What I do?
You be trying little jabs, and I be like, all right,
First of all, she used periods and commas and stuff, so,
Gotcha.
All right, let's roll. Knox Approved said, we live in a selfish world that only think of themselves. Life is a team sport. To be successful, it takes self-control, plus others who support and believe, not just self. We were talking about voting. Oh, God, we are done with that. But anyway, we were talking about voting on things that affect other people and not just thinking about ourselves in that clip. And we can't do it by ourselves. We got to live in community. It's okay to limit your community to the people that make you feel safe, but we got to make sure that we are trying to build community with others, because so many people really try to live in a silo, and living in a silo is not going to get you far.
Absolutely. We go farther together. I still do believe that. All right. I love y'all in real life. Kendra, come on, tell them what we about.
The dream
is real.
Yeah, the dream is real.